guys and gals. This is Will Plays, and I'm back for part one of What If Deku turned into Evelynn. And yeah, it's been forever. I'm just not gonna sugarcoat it. It's been forever, and yeah, all I can say is I have a lot of ideas, even more than I did before. I have like hundreds of ideas of like what ifs that I could make, but it's me actually pulling it off. If I can actually even finish one series. So there's that. Let's see if I can finish this. I want to at least put out 5 more episodes. Part 0, part 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to stop in at least part 4, I would say. And then I can go to another series and do like 5 episodes there. And go back and forth by the two series. And see how that goes. I don't know how long these series will be. Probably not too long, but let's see what I can do. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the intro, motherfuckers. My monsters and monsterettes. See y'all in a second. Peace out.
Sweet dreams are made of screams. Those who lost their minds will disagree. You travel the world on a 70. Everybody's looking for someone, and they found you.
Now we start off the story with All for One, or in her name, or her real name in the story. I'm going to call her because I did not give her a name. Luna Shigaraki. That's her name. As we see her looking at the tube that Izuku was in, as he's in a cryogenic tube, so his body does not decay. As I'm sorry for that, I got some Discord messages, but never mind that. Hope it doesn't continue. But as we see her just staring at his cryogenic tube, as some years has passed since Izuku passed away or died. As by that time, she already killed the hero that killed him or did not save him. And she burned down the orphanage on her crusade to avenge her son and anyone else that might have done Izuku harm. She picked them off one by one. And now after she avenged her son after the first year, she then started looking into any way to save her son. Any scientific way has not been invented yet. She searched and searched for, I would say, 3 years, scavenging anything that she could find in the world to probably revive him. And I'm going to say she tried a few times to revive his body. None were successful. So she gave up any scientific option. Because at this moment she's drawing straws right now, as she's kind of desperate at the moment. As she thinks on how to do it, how to save her son. And for some odd reason, like something was drawing her in, as she thought about the supernatural, as she has thought about this for some time, and she always thought, nah, that's not possible. Supernatural does not exist. But as she started thinking about it, what about quirks? Are they supernatural? Because before quirks began, the world was normal, and then there were quirks out of nowhere. There's still no scientific explanation why they exist. So she thought about this real hard, and she started getting into any type of supernatural thing that she can and find anything that she can on the supernatural. As she kept trying to search and search any type of thing that she can. And she finally found something that might help her. And that something is in America or in Louisiana. Because Louisiana has a rich history, background on witches, warlocks, and whatnot. As she is in Louisiana, as we see her get closer to her son, looking at him in the cryogenic pod as she touches the grass that is right in front of her son's face, as she says, "I promise you, son," as she puts her forehead on the glass with her eyes closed, as she puts her hand into a fist with an angry look in her face while her eyes are still closed. "I will do anything I can to save you, even if I'm pulling out straws." Now we do a little bit of a time skip, as at this time she does not have Kirigiri yet. She doesn't have all the nomos and whatnot, because at this point in time, her and the good doctor, is in the process of trying to create these nomos, and they haven't found a good quirk or a good body, dead body, with a good quirk to find a someone with a portal. So she actually has to move around secretly and try to find any. She has to move around the world the regular way by boats and you know uh, planes and whatnot. As we see her get on the plane, as the closest plane that will land to Louisiana. She's gonna have a couple flights because there's not one that lands in Louisiana. The closest one will be in DFW, Dallas, in the United States, in Texas. So she's going to fly and go to Louisiana to find any type of clue that can get her the info she needed. And she does just that. She gets on a plane. She lands in Texas. Then she drives towards Shreveport, and that would be, I would say, a 3 to 4 hour drive, depending on the traffic. As once she gets there, she finds a motel and sleeps for the night, and she'll have a couple hour drive towards uh, what's it called? As we see her drive to New Orleans, the most famous city in Louisiana, as that is also the most famous for the witchcraft. She found a clue on a shop in New Orleans that she found on the dark web. And even for herself, while searching for anything that she could in the dark web over the supernatural and witchcraft, it was very fucking difficult to find this clue in the dark web. She had to ask many different people that are believers of the supernatural. And yeah, that took her quite a long time. As we see her walk into a certain shop that is pretty much in the shady part of a shady district in New Orleans. As we hear the bell ring as she opens the door, as you could immediately see multiple types of things that you would see probably a witch would have. There's books all around there, laying in bookshelves with a lot of different trinkets with bones and mixtures of different, I would say, potions, or what normal people would look at them and say they're just different concoctions, probably scent or whatnot. But if you have a keen eye, even if you don't know what that pretty much is, you know that that's not a normal drink or scent. As she looks around into the shop, as she hears someone speak to her and asks why is she here. I have gotten I have got quite the eye for people, and you, miss, are quite old for a regular person. You got them quirks, don't you? You look, you don't look like you're around here. As we hear Luna say, "Yeah, I'm not around. I'm around here at all." I think anyone can tell that I'm not from around here. As the voice laughs and says, "Well, you got me there. So, I got multiple quirks, and I cannot find you, locate you. I cannot even smell you. And I got a quirk that lets me detect other quirks. And I do not detect none in this building right now. as we see Luna smile with a crazed smile as he says, "Is this what I've been searching for all this time? Are you a witch?" As we see someone walk into from the back door that leads probably into the how would I say employee area, let's say, behind the desk. As we see a pale woman with pitch black hair that's wearing all black, and she looked like she has not had a day's rest. As she says, "Well, dear, you are right. You have found yourself a witch, and I must say I'm impressed. Not many people can actually get into my wards without magic, and you, miss, walked right into it. The wards around my building are supposed to, how do I say, camouflage itself as an abandoned building, and you walked right in. That is quite curious, my dear." As she walks closer to Luna, as she circles her, after we see her circle Luna for a few times, we see her touch her shoulder as her eyes go white as she sees Luna's life flash before her eyes. As after a few seconds, she releases her hold on her shoulder as she breathes in and out. As she looks at Luna, and she smiles crazily as she says, "So, you're the famous Awful One. Granted, there has been tales around you that spread around the world, whispers, tales upon your greatest achievements and your damnest deeds. You are a damn soul, are you not?" As Luna smiles as she says, "Yes, I am." As she says, "But let's stop talking about me. What I'm here for. Yes, I know what you're here for. Your son. You want to revive him, do you not?" As Luna nods, as this witch says, "It has been done before, reviving the dead, though none speak of it. There's been multiple ways to revive a dead body, but most of them are from hell. The devil worship, yada yada yada. And there are always," and she looks Luna straight in the eyes as she says, "always repercussions. If you want your son to be revived, he will turn into a monster, one of the dead or one of the damned, straight up. He will be of a dark race. I can't tell you what. There's multiple ways to revive him. I've said that before a second ago. But, like I said, there's always a price. What is your price? What are you willing to pay to revive your son?" As we see Luna say, "I'm willing to give all of Japan to you, or whoever is able to revive my son. I'll kill as many souls as I need to revive him. Take as much blood, souls, body parts, whatever I need to revive him with whatever magic you use or whatnot. I don't care. As long as I get my son back and he has his memories. As we see the witch think on this, she's willing to give a whole country to her son and kill as many people as she will to revive him. Granted, if a mother or father's love loves their child, there's many parents that loves their child so much that they would do unspeakable actions to do this, to revive their child. But upon such suggestions, at first they would flinch or even try to talk about other ways that they might be able to revive them. But they always succumb to that desire, the dark desire to revive them. And they would never be the same again, just like their revived son or daughter. That would be a cursed family. But as she looks at Luna, she's already cursed. Her bloodline is already cursed. So, and she's already damned to begin with, so of course she wouldn't flinch with how many souls she has killed. As we see the witch breathe in and breathe out, as she says, "Okay, that's all for one. How about this? I teleport us to your hideout in Japan to save us all the time and whatnot. And you take your son out of the cryogenic uh, pod, and I will transform his body into an egg of a demon. Though this egg is very, very precious, because this is one of my own design. My, how do I say, descendants created this, though never used it before. And you're willing to have a high bargain just to revive your son. By the time that he hatches and whatnot, you don't know what type of demon he will be. He will turn into. So just be careful. Okay? As she says, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't care what type of demon my son turns into, as long as he can stay rational. I don't care. As long as he's rational and he has his memories." As the witch says, "Okay, my dear." As she raises her hand, as her and All for One turns into flames, hellfire, I would say, and hellfire raises their from their feet to their head as their body turns into dust, falls to the ground as we see them teleport from Louisiana to Japan and Alpha One's hideout immediately as we see Hellfire uh, appear in two places in the base side by side as after we see the bodies of inside the Hellfire comes down and evaporates immediately after they teleport. As we see Luna look at her body and touching herself, she thought she died. As we see the witch walk straight to Izuku and see his body. As she actually sees Izuku's soul still in his body, refusing to leave it. As she smiles, as she says, "Well, that's good. Even better than before." As Luna asks, "What do you mean?" Most cases, the soul would immediately either go to heaven or hell. But in this case, there are very rare cases of this, that a soul refuses to go to heaven or hell, refuses to leave their body. And if they actually stay long enough, they could actually turn into quite a devastating, how do I say, spirit. With his soul and body still there, I could turn him and revive him. I can tell his soul has a lot of aggression towards this world. He's already heading his way towards a very vengeful spirit. And we don't want that yet. So, turn off this cryopod and unfreeze him real quick. As Alpha 1 does that, and the cryopod slowly unfreezes quite kind of quickly as we see the witch use her magic to quicken the pace of the ice. As once the ice fully thaws out, she grabs the body with her magic. She pulls Izuku's body out of the tube, and she lays his body on a table. Guys, they are in a lab. Ichigo's lab, after all. Dr. Ichigo. So, he's not there at the moment, granted, as we see her start doing multiple magics into Izuku's body, as she says to Luna, "This is going to take a few minutes. If not, it will take an hour. I would say an hour and a half. I would say 30 minutes to an hour and a half." As Luna nods as she asks, "Why would it take so long?" What I'm doing is rebirthing a soul and turning it into something different. He used to be human after all. It's not normal to turn a human into a demon unless if they die and go to hell. That's the only real path to actually becoming a demon. Dying and going to hell. But there are some unconventional methods to turn into a demon. If you get involved into a with a demon or even an angel or even a higher being than them. I'm not going to get into all that because that's above my pay grade. And it's very unlikely to get involved into one of those higher beings. I'm more invested in just demons and angels after all. As Luna gets very interested in this demon and angel stick, as she says, I don't usually get so, how do I say, I don't usually believe people whenever they tell me that supernatural exists. And just finding you alone, God, that took forever. I didn't want to believe it until I saw you. So your store. I don't know why, but once I saw you in your store, it opened my mind. I started right whenever you started talking about demons and whatnot. I'm like, whatever. I would normally not believe it, but anything for my son, I'll believe it if it revives him. As the witch nods and she says, I completely understand. If I was not born into this lineage, I wouldn't have believed it either. But it is what it is, that she shrugs, while still doing incantations in her mind, putting spells onto the body, changing it, morphing it, and I would say after an hour and a half, I would say to an hour and 40, she was done. It was a bit more than she thought it was going to be, but she did it. Changing a soul in the soul's body into something more, something that was not, took a lot out of her. As we see what was once a body, now a good sized egg that is covered in black. It's like a shadowy egg that pours off mist surrounding it. Or, not really mist, I would say shadow. A shadowed egg, if you can picture it. As we see the witch, as she says, okay, I did what you wanted, and though I gotta admit, with this egg and the spiritual spirit that was Izuku, with me morphing it, it will mostly be a spiritual demon, if you can call it that. These types of demons usually feed off energy, emotions, though, because he is a demon. I highly, how do I say? I highly advise you to do what you usually do. Bring the egg with you as you kill the heroes and have them make them have as much emotion as you fight them and make them have as much fear, as much emotion period as possible as you pour despair into their souls before they die. That emotion will feed the egg and will have the egg to hatch. Though, because this egg has just been made, or just born, I would say, not really just born yet, as it's confusing. To, it is in a spiritual comatose state at the moment. It needs food to survive, emotions, or yeah. That's why I would advise you pour as much emotions into your victims as possible with you bringing an egg with you. And you don't have to worry about the egg breaking on a mistake, because these demon eggs are very indestructible from humans, and they're toys. After all, no human, barely any humans know about the supernatural. But be careful of those that do and that can use magic. There are those in this world that will not hesitate to kill you now that you know about the supernatural. And you have an egg with you, a demon egg at that, that I made. Yeah. But now, as she looks at a watch on her wrist, as she says, my time's almost done. And now the price. I want you to give me 10 hero souls, social heroes. And I want the real heroes, pure of heart. I'll give you this as she takes out a vial. As she says, once you kill a hero that is pure of heart, the vial will be suck in the soul of the victim. I want 10 pure of heart heroes. 10 heroes that are pure of heart. That's my payment for this. I can't kill them myself, because I will be on their radar. And I need that from my magic. As Luna nods at her, she says, no problem. How will you know when I'm done? As the witch says, I'll know whenever the vial is full. Once the vial is full, it will give me an alarm in my head. So, have a good time. All for one. It was lovely to meet you after all. There's not many like you nowadays. But I'm pretty sure once you revive your son rebirths, it will be very fun to have you both as friends. She snaps one of her finger and she bursts burst into flames. That's all that was left of her is ash. As Alpha kind of shudders at that. She could not do that to herself every time that she teleports. Turning into ash, it probably doesn't hurt her because she's done it so many times. That's probably why her skin is so white. She doesn't know, but there's something wrong with that. Even she herself shudders at that teleportation. But as she looks back at her son on the table, as she has a big wide smile, she says, "I did it. I actually did it." As she picks up the egg, as she gently hugs it, and she kisses the egg, as she says, "My son, I love you so much. I would do anything for you." And once my bad. Uh, once you revive into a demon, we will have this world on its knees of what the world did to us. And I will have the one for all quarter on his knees. The next one, or whoever has it, after you revive. My son, I love you. We will be the king and queen of this world. My son. As she chuckles darkly. And that is it for this episode. This episode is probably not going to be as long as the other one, but it's hit that 40-minute mark. And yeah, thank you all for listening. It has been a while since I've actually made a video, so it's actually nice that I actually made one. I like it. So thank you all for watching, my lovely monster family, my monster dudes and dudettes, and have a lovely day or night, wherever your time zone is, monster family, and peace out.